Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There's this quote called paralysis over analysis. It is when we are always thinking about the things that we need to do, but because of our overthinking, we are overwhelmed. This is very significant because we discussed that the mind is always restless. The mind is traveling sa future and also sa past. So it could not really focus on what is really important, the present and also the service that we need to do. In the practice of spiritual life, if one is just focusing on the function of the mind, just the philosophies, and also all the technicalities, he will not be able to really act accordingly. It is very true in our practice of bhakti as well, because we have a lot of scriptures, we have a lot of books to study. But just reading, just studying about the books, the scriptures, without the proper actions, it will not complete the practice of bhakti. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is advising Arjuna to stand up and fight with the proper knowledge, with the proper guidance. So that was chapter 2, the contents of the Gita summarized. Kung si Arjuna is very simple and really followed the instructions of Krishna, tapos na yun. Kaya nga, sinummarize na, andun na halos lahat. But it's also bewildering kasi there's different instructions ni Krishna dun sa chapter 2 pa lang sa unang conversation nila. So, kailangan mag-continue yung conversation kasi nagkaroon ng questions pa si Arjuna to clarify things. Not just for himself, but also for us. He know na malilito yung mga tao, yung mga reader. Just like normally nangyayari sa atin. So if hindi niyo na-gets masyado yung chapter 2, anong talaga instructions ni Krishna, it's okay. Si Arjuna nalito rin. Let's read the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, Karma Yoga. Arjuna said, O Arjuna, Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? So, previously, diniscuss nga yung different topics. And ang akala ni Arjuna, ang sinasabi ni Krishna is, just use your intelligence. So, ang tanong niya, kailangan ko ba talagang gamitin yung intelligence ko? O kailangan ko ba mag-work? Kailangan bang mind lang to meditate? Or kailangan ko mag-act and serve? So, medyo nakakalito nga naman. Kasi, may fruitive work na binanggit si Krishna doon na at pag ito yung ginawa mo, ito yung mangyayari. Remember the first part, may karma kanda. Then slowly, nag-instruction din siya tungkol sa karma yoga. So, yung chapter 3 is much more elaborate na discussion ni Krishna about karma yoga. And also sa previous chapter, diniscuss yung constitution ng soul. Pinakalala kung sino talaga tayo. Sino talaga si Krishna. And ano yung relationship natin sa Kanya and ano yung process how to serve Him. And after that, Krishna discussed about the Buddha Yoga or Krishna consciousness and a little about the Karma Yoga. So, thinking na yung isang tao about to practice Krishna consciousness is mag-focus siya doon sa knowledge. Feeling niya mag-retire na siya sa work. Mag-focus na lang ako, mag-aaral na lang ako. Or mag-chant na lang ako. Or mag-yoga na lang ako. Then makakalimutan na yung activities, makakalimutan na yung duties. So, ito yung practical application, which is si Arjuna, nangyari din sa kanya. Anong application nito? Text 2. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. He's very humble in bringing up his confusion. Sinasabi niya, actually maganda yung pagkaka-explain more Krishna eh. But yung intelligence ko, bewildered. Hindi niya kayang i-grasp yun. This is the right mood of a disciple. If he asks questions, it's not challenging. Kailangan nasa humble mood. Nasa mood ng student. And ganito dapat tayo in the mood ng ating studies ng scriptures. In the mood ng dealings natin sa ating mga devotees, seniors, or teachers. Kung napansin nyo, si Krishna tinitis niya yung student niya. Pero si Arjuna, hindi niya nire-reciprocate yung ganong mood. Nasa humble mood siya. Alam niya pa rin yung position niya. So, very important, alam mo yung label mo, di ba? Student ka, disciple ka, or mas junior ka doon sa person na yon. If he gives that, pwede mo ibalik, pero hindi in an equal level. Kasi reciprocation yon. At the same time, di pwede mag-over-familiar. Si Arjuna is always in the humble mode. Sober siya kung paano niya binibigay. Of course, yung teacher ganun din. Kasi yung teaching niya, sometimes kailangan niya basagin yung hard shell of false ego. So, ganito yung naging question ni Arjuna. Kasi, previous chapter, nagkaroon ng Sankhya Yoga discussion. Ayun yung regarding fruitive na activities or karma yoga. Karma kanda. Discussing yung elements, discussing kung paano yung gagamitin yung mga elements, ano yung relationship nun sa sarili. And Krishna discussed about the Buddha yoga. Of course, ito yung using these elements in service kay Krishna or Krishna consciousness. Pero, unsystematic yung pagka-discuss ni Krishna. Very, subtle lang and quick lang. Para lang si Arjuna as tumayo na siya and mag-fight na siya. Wala yung bewilderment. Text 3. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. So, dalawa. Philosophical speculation and devotional service. These are two classes of men na gustong matutunan, aralin yung Vedas. If you're just gonna use the mind to understand the things na kailangan natin matutunan sa spiritual life, this is actually called Jnana Yoga. Another level to sa yoga ladder. The Karma Kanda, or just actions and reactions. Dito lang sila nakafocus. Then we have the Karma Yoga. So nakafocus lang din yung Karma Yoga sa pag-connect kay Krishna. It could be divided also sa selfish and selfless. And yung Jnana Yoga, using the mind, knowledge, philosophies. So kapag gusto daw intindihin ng isang devotee or ng isang spiritual person yung knowledge about God, knowledge about Krishna, or serving Him, just by mind lang, much more just by speculation lang, hindi niya basta-basta maintindihan si Krishna. Kailangan ng devotional service, kailangan ng action, kailangan ng application. So ito yung confusion ni Arjuna in pag in-encapsulate yung question niya. Kailangan ko ba I just need to use my intelligence o kailangan ko talaga mag-work? Ano ba talaga? So, Jnana Yoga is also just being lazy. Don't get me wrong, kailangan natin aralin yung scriptures para mas alam natin kung ano yung devotional service natin, yung action. Just like love, you cannot just say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Tapos yung action mo, hindi ganon. Hindi mo sinushow, hindi mo in-express, hindi rin nararamdaman. Just by words lang. Lip service lang siya. So, hindi ganon yung love. Yung love is, sabi nga nila, a verb. Action siya, di ba? So, devotional service, ganun talaga yung definition nun, is action. Service nga siya. In different forms. So, to learn about Krishna, to learn about bhakti, kailangan ng devotional service. Kailangan mag-act. And minsan, hindi matatalino talaga yung mga devotees. Hindi sila maybe academically inclined or capable or hindi sila ganun ka expert sa Sanskrit, sa grammar ng Sanskrit, or this very elaborate na philosophies ng Vedas. Pero pag nag-perform ng devotional service, he is actually capable na mas maintindihan yung Vedas. Mas maintindihan yung Bhagavad Gita. So, the practice of Krishna consciousness is we do devotional service. Sometimes kahit di pa natin naiintindihan. Para maintindihan natin, kailangan natin mag-serve. So yung knowledge will become realized knowledge. Proper application. Sabi nga, you cannot taste yung honey kapag hindi mo bubuksan yung bottle or yung jar and get the honey from inside the container. You cannot just taste the honey by looking at it. And imagine. So, ganun yung knowledge. So, kailangan natin tanggalin yung sarili natin dun sa lazy practice. Na puro aral lang, I just know it, I just have to learn, pero hindi mo ina-apply. Kailangan natin ng movement, kailangan natin galawan. Ang ganda ng sinabi ni Prabhupada dito, the quote, very famous, religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. So, the religion and philosophy should come together. Hindi rin pwedeng merong practice ng spirituality na walang philosophy. Mababaw lang, o maniwala ka lang ganito, or magsisi ka lang sa sarili mo, ganito, you'll be saved. Or just be a member, di ba? Then donate every month or every sweldo, then you'll be saved. Hindi ganun kababaw yung spiritual life. Hindi rin ganun kababaw na matanggal yung karma. Nagawin mo lang to, tapos na. It's all just material then. So, kailangan ng philosophy. What's really happening? And yung philosophy na yon should be really coming from the right source. And if philosophy lang na walang spirituality, hindi rin siya magiging valid or magiging how do you call it? Hindi mo maaasahan yung philosophy na yon kasi it's mental speculation lang yun. Maraming philosophy sa mundo na ginawa lang ng tao. And could be actually debunked ng mga ibang tao din or sometimes students, just like yung theory of evolution. Yung knowledge na yon na gusto nila ipasa is nonsense. Doesn't really make any sense. Na-debunk nga siya ng ibang philosophers din. Sumikat lang talaga siya kasi it's at that time very innovative yung ginawa niyang libro. So hindi rin officially na kapag may libro, official yung knowledge. That's the gist ng society natin. Nilagay mo sa news, nilagay mo sa internet, nilagay mo sa libro, mukhang totoo na. Hindi naman talaga ganun. So kailangan natin gamitin talaga yung right intelligence. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. We don't have to escape yung mga duties natin just because feeling natin kaya natin ma-reach yon just by knowledge. Or because there's sentiments, there's emotions. We cannot just leave yung duties. Or sometimes, they will leave the guru, yung pagsusurrender nila sa guru because meron silang naramdaman na hindi nila gusto or nalaman na hindi nila gusto. Or yung mga tao sa paligid ng guru, hindi nila na nagkaroon ng nice relationships. So, ito yung importante matutunan natin. Hindi tayo dapat mag-escape. If di natin nagustuhan yung situation, escape na tayo. Lalo-lalo na if you're really convinced that your practice of spirituality is genuine and it's your only saving grace. Just by sentiments and emotion, iiwanan mo lahat. So, dapat hindi tayo ganito magpadala lang sa emotions. Lalo-lalo na kapag di na tayo gumawa ng service because of that. Magkakaroon na tayo ng inaction. So, that's the misconception sa practice of bhakti. Inaction. Kasi ayoko ng reaction eh. Ayoko ng karma. So, wala na lang akong gagawin. Safe na lang ako. So, actually, yung safe zone na iniisip natin, hindi talaga safe. Kasi we're just escaping. Harapin mo. If there's problems, kailangan i-solve, i-deal, kailangan harapin. Much more, kapag may knowledge tayo, kailangan natin i-apply. You cannot be kind sa mind lang. Yung kindness kailangan mong i-apply as a behavior. And also, we cannot renounce the relationships, the activities around us. Kung ano yung meron na binigay sa atin ng karma natin previous lives. Without proper purification. Remember, diniscuss natin before yung right renunciation should be with detachment. Hindi gross renunciation pero sa loob, attached siya. It could be gradual by properly engaging kung ano yung nasa paligid natin to Krishna. So matututunan talaga natin yung right renunciation. Much more if one tries to practice Krishna consciousness, gusto niyang iwanan lahat kasi previous life ko na yan. Or ayoko na mag-engage dito kasi magiging attached uli ako or magiging passionate uli ako dito pag naalala ko tong bagay na to. No. The proper way to be detached is still do it and connect it to Krishna. Because Krishna is teaching, the proper renunciation is gradual. And para mawala yon is connect it to Krishna. The senses, the skills, the talents, the relationships, the facilities. You cannot just throw money. Then use the money para kay Krishna. Serve Krishna. The talents and skills, ganun din. Like the famous George Harrison. Ginamit niya yung talents niya, yung fame niya kay Krishna to serve Krishna. Actually, nagsabi siya kay Prabhupada, gusto na niya iwanan yun eh. Kasi pag nagka-chance siya, wala na siyang gana dun sa passion niya. And kapag nakafocus siya dun sa passion niya, wala siyang gana mag-chant. Pwede mag-escape na lang ako, mag-shave up na lang din ako, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, no, you should do this duty. And much more effective yung naging service ni George Harrison. After many generations, effective pa rin yung na-compose niyang mga music to introduce Krishna consciousness to people. Si Arjuna ganun din. You don't have to escape and be a meditator na lang or yogi na lang sa forest. No, fight. So if may mga ganito tayong service, okay, may talent ka sa ganitong bagay, you have these skills, kailangan ng proper guidance. That's the key word. Kailangan ng proper guidance para magamit natin yun kasi hindi natin kailangan mag-speculate lang. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Anyway, marami naman tayong magagawa sa buhay na hindi natin kaya kontrolin because of material modes of nature. So, para na tayong puppet on a string, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And or according din sa previous karma natin. So, kailangan natin gawin din yon. Pero, if hindi natin gagawin yung para kay Krishna, it will give us entanglement. It will give us reason para magkaroon ng maraming karma ulit or reactions. So, the only way is to engage it. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Krishna, ganito yung sinasabi niya kay Arjuna. No? So, kung aalis ka lang din, tapos yung mind mo andito sa war, attachment mo andun sa family, andun sa enjoyment, edi pretender ka lang. So, yung knowledge na yon sa mga bagay-bagay na meron sa material world, do it or not do it, is or has no value kapag di natin nagamit sa Krishna consciousness. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. So that's why we're always saying, even if you're not staying in the temple full time as a monk or as a devotee that is serving 24/7, even if one has a family, a business, work, if ginagamit niya yon in Krishna consciousness, much more better siya dun sa so-called renunciant, so-called sannyasi. Ang galing, di ba? Hindi talaga nasa color lang or nasa damit lang yung practice ng spirituality. You cannot fake it. Sabi dito, you're just a pretender. If gagawin mo yon, you'll try to renounce, you'll try to become this, but yung mind mo nagdudwell pa rin dun sa object. Better go there dun sa objects na yon or sa skills na yon or sa activity na yon, pero i-connect mo kay Krishna. Such a practical way to practice Krishna consciousness. You don't have to be a pretender. You just have to be true. Performing your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. So, anong instructions? Perform yung duty. So, etong activity na to habang kinukonek kay Krishna gradually cleanses our hearts. Gradually detach ourselves then. Last text natin for today. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are the servant, and establish na natin yon. Nakilala natin kung sino tayo, nakilala natin kung sino si Krishna, and ano yung duties natin. Again, Krishna is the Supreme Personality. He is a person. Meron siya mga likes and dislikes. Just like a person na nasa paligid natin. Makikilala natin sila, malalaman mo yung likes and dislikes nila. Hindi siya general. And we don't deal with people around us na according lang sa gusto natin. So it's selfish. So kailangan alam natin yung gusto sa kanila na gusto. Ganun yung dealings natin kay Krishna. According dun sa gusto niya. For his satisfaction. Sinabi naman niya and i-discuss din dito ano talaga yung duties natin. Ano yung gusto niya, ano yung makaka-please sa kanya. Ano yung hindi niya rin gusto. And what causes, what actions please him. So ito daw dapat yung gawin natin. We have to do the work. Perform it. Otherwise, if hindi natin gagawin yon, kapag magiging lazy lang tayo, it's also a cause of bondage. So if we do the work, kailangan i-connect kay Krishna, i-serve kay Krishna. Otherwise, bondage, reactions uli yun. If we don't do the work, karma din yun. So we don't have to be, we don't have to just justify na ayaw natin gawin to, yung mga bagay, yung mga duties because hindi siya Krishna conscious. Prabhu, matitrigger uli or magigising uli yung passion ko dito. Or yung emotions ko dito. Actually, para mawala nga yung emotions na yon, yung attachment na yon, yung passion na yon, kailangan natin i-connect kay Krishna para ma-cleanse. Ma-purify tayo. In that way, maging qualified talaga sa proper renunciation. So, hindi renunciation yung Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is service. Renunciation is just another process to perform that. Hindi rin nakasalalay sa ashram or sa color ng damit yung practice ng bhakti. I was talking to one student yesterday. Pinag-usapan namin, yung dhoti sa kasari nga, ano siya culture na damit to sa India. It doesn't mean na bhakti yogi siya. They could perform all abominable acts. Eat these things, do this illicit activity while wearing this. Kasi parang barong Tagalog lang nila to. Of course, it traces back sa damit ng mga previous na personalities, also sa ibang planetary systems, even spiritual world, dhoti and all. Pero ginagamit din nila to in such activities sa India kasi ito yung parang official na damit nila in their culture. And also, kapag naka-pants and shirt ka or naka-casual attire ka, they call it non-devotional. Is it really non-devotional kapag yung damit na yon, you perform devotional service? Diba? Nakapang workers attire ka or farmers attire ka na sa farm ka to serve Krishna. Non-devotional ba yon? Devotional siya, di ba? So, hindi siya pang outer lang. Yung spiritual life is nasa puso. And, kailangan mong lagyan ng action. Very practical. So, paano magagawa to? Paano magigets na nasa right path ka ng actions mo? Is kailangan mo ng spiritual master, ng teacher, ng mentor to guide us. Para hindi tayo mag-speculate lang, whimsically, na gagawin ko to kasi ayoko nang may mag-utos sa akin. Gusto ko independent ako kahit sa practice ng spiritual life. We cannot practice independence kasi sa spiritual life. It's not the real freedom. Actually, mas magkukulong yun sa atin. Kasi aasahan lang natin yung mind natin. Arjuna surrendered kay Krishna. And Krishna is doing his duties to check him. Sometimes to chastise him para magising siya. That's the duty of the teacher. That's the duty of the spiritual master. To find faults dun sa student para i-correct. So the emotions should be also engaged. We don't have to be locked up sa emotions natin para huminto tayo sa activities natin. We don't have to use also the knowledge para hindi tayo magkaroon ng inaction dahil lang we're thinking, I can serve Krishna through the mind. And also our duties, di natin pa isipin na, Krishna conscious, hindi siya connected sa Krishna consciousness directly. So, material siya. Puro karma lang siya. No. The proper use of knowledge is using all the activities, all the things, all the material facilities around us. That will help us really know na itong mga bagay sa paligid natin is really connected kay Krishna. And when we use that, that is Bhakti Yoga. Thank you very much, everyone. That is our episode for today. Called Don't Be a Lazy Yogi. The call to action natin is to be a yogi na very productive. Hindi tayo pwedeng maging tamad. Hindi tayo pwedeng ma-paralyze ng kakaisip. Or dahil sa emotions, matambakan tayo ng mga to-do list natin sa services because we're just enamored lang sa buhay and enamored lang tayo sa knowledge and enamored lang tayo kakaisip. Overthinking will keep us here in the material world. Sabi nga nila, don't trust the future and don't trust your mind. Kanino ka magka-trust? Sa scriptures, the spiritual masters, sa devotees.